Obviously this abuts I-40/75. This is a 3-lane cross-section road with an eastbound, westbound, and center turn lane, and there are sidewalks on both sides of the road. The section of Outlet Drive has an 80-foot right-of-way, and as you know from the plans that you all approved earlier with regards to the Knox County Town of Farragut joint project, this will be connected to Snyder Road. And this is why they've come forward with this plat at this time, because the county is in the process. They are hoping to begin construction in the next fiscal year after July 1st of 2011. And the right-of-way needs to be platted so that they can get started on the construction. And so what I have before you in the staff recommendation list is a list of items that are outstanding. Several of them are just dealing with postings of letters of credit, a couple of minor changes to the final plat itself. The overhead power line, they have requested that they post a letter of credit for that, for the removal of that power line. That is along their rear property line. And then there will also be letters of credit for the completion of the landscaping, the 2-year maintenance, and the stormwater detention, and for the roads, sidewalks, and the stormwater detention basin, and submitting verifications on the volumes of the basins and meeting all town requirements. So staff is recommending approval of this final plat subject to items number 1 through 12, with the last one being meet all town requirements.
Anyone here with Fair Partnership that has any comments to make? Just want to make sure you're all right with all of these items. Any questions, comments from the commission?
Anything significant in your list, a punch list on item 8?
No, there is not. Actually, from the site is generally very well stabilized, but there are a few spots yet. The section that on the far east end, they did not build the sidewalk in this section because of steep slopes, and they have asked that they post a letter of credit for that, and then whenever the hotel property redevelops, it would actually work better to finish up the sidewalk in conjunction with that, just because of the slopes and how it ties into the hotel property, and we are agreeable to that. And that was item number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions? Do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We move on to item number 6, discussion and public hearing on the plat of correction for the cottages of Price Farm, lot 69 through 80, zoned R-1 and OSR, to change platted building envelopes. Jack Housley, applicant.
The cottages plats have been before you a couple of times. We talked about with their platted envelopes, and they were having some setback violations, and we had recommended that they kind of relook at how they did their initial platted envelopes and do something more blocky so they don't run into so many problems as they do certain nuances with their various building styles, and still comply with the town's requirements, the requirements of the plat, and but give them a little greater flexibility. So that is the purpose of this plat, is really just to give a little bit more flexibility for the style of units. They have different styles with different footprints, and this gives them the flexibility that when a buyer comes in, let's say they can say, well, I want building B, that it actually will fit on more lots than just on a couple of lots. We are recommending approval of this plat subject to items 1 through 6 with the, oh, I forgot one, 1 through 7, because number 6 is obtain all signatures. And then number 7 would be meet all town requirements. But we are recommending approval.
Add that right now.
Yes, please.
Do we have anyone from the applicant who wishes to say anything? Can you please come up there and tell us that, please, so we can all hear you? Want that on the record.
I'm Garrett Tucker with Robert Campbell and Associates, and as Ruth said, we've been trying to get these building envelopes to allow them to have a little more flexibility to do different units on different lots and meet more of their customers, what the customers want to buy. So that's.
You're fine with these 7 items?
Yes, we're good with those.
Anyone else connected with the development that has any questions or comments? Anyone on the planning commission? Have a motion?
I move approval.
Plat and correction subject to staff.
Since Commissioner Whiting was the last one speaking, I'm going to just go with you.
It's fine.
Have a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Item number 7, discussion and request to close Heron Road right-of-way north of I-4075, located adjacent to Buddy Gregg Motor Homes, Young, Williams, and Kirk PC applicant.
This is for discussion purposes only. There is no action to be taken tonight. Most of Heron Road, north of Sweetbriar subdivision, has already been closed. In fact, all of it. I think the last stretch was the area that was there behind the J.C. Penney, and there, as you know, Heron Road was bisected by the interstate, and then with the Parkside Drive development, the developers requested in various stages to close Heron Road. The residents that lived on Heron Road did not want it connected into Parkside Drive years ago whenever we did the preliminary plat with Parkside Drive, and so that was slowly all closed. Now, this last little piece is what's in the town of Farragut on the north side of the interstate. It's a little difficult to see on that, but it is hashed with the area that they are talking about closing, and I'm going to color this section that they are requesting to close. It's kind of got a little dog leg there, right there, because that's actually the town limit line. As part of the process for a road closure, I sent letters to all of the utility providers in the area and to Rural Metro to see if they had any comments or questions or concerns or issues with closing this right-of-way. First Utility District has a water line on this right-of-way, and they also have some meters and fire hydrant. And they are willing to, that can either be turned into a service line depending the needs of the the property owner, or they can take it over, they can keep it, and then the property owner would just plat it as an easement. KUB also responded, and they said that they did have a gas line in that area, and as long as they had the adequate easement, they were okay with the road closure. Those are the only 2 utility districts that got back with me regarding the right-of-way abandonment or closing of it. So from the town's perspective, this is not a crucial transportation link. Now that Buddy Gregg Motorhomes has purchased this treed lot right here. They have purchased that. If you remember, I believe it was last month they came before you with a land disturbance permit. Now that they have purchased that, there really is no need for there to be a public road in that area, provided they do combine the lots so that that lot has legal road frontage, and that legal road frontage would be Snyder Road. On the second page of the staff handout, list of stipulations that we commonly place on whenever we are looking at a road for a road closing request is that the applicant record a plat that dissolves the interior property lines to create a single parcel so that all lots have road frontage. I specified the parcels as all of those in this area, but our primary concern is just that there be road frontage, and so there may be different configurations that accomplishes that same task, but it would be, we would ask that as part of this, that they would create a plat to do that, and then also that the plat show the abandonment of the right-of-way and incorporating it into the new parcels. As part of the signature, this is the first time Mayor McGill has gone through this process, but as part of this, whenever a plat such as this is prepared, Mayor McGill is actually one of the signers of the property as the owner, because we are relinquishing all rights and we require all owners to sign the plat. Then the other one is that the plat establish the appropriate utility easements that both First Utility District and KUB feel comfortable with. And doing kind of a land swap with the Snyder Road Outlet Drive connector. That's kind of a, when I had talked with the applicant who is the attorney for them, they were very agreeable to that, and that has been discussed as the county is going through this process with the Snyder Road right-of-way acquisition for the connector. I don't know if you have any questions on this.
So if we close the road and they take possession of it, then it won't be a road anymore. They'll tear it up and use it for whatever, right?
Yeah, whether they want to keep it as a driveway, or if they want to incorporate it into like the building. What it saves them from is they don't have to meet front yard setback requirements when it's not really functioning as a road now that they've purchased that other parcel.
And it's not used as a road basically now.
It hasn't been since that house has been abandoned, but when the house, of course, was occupied, the house, kind of hard to see, but it's actually right in here. And that, if you remember, as part of the land disturbance permit, they were removing that house. There's a barn back up in here. They were removing that. That vegetation is extremely thick because you can't see it hardly at all in this aerial photograph. But those buildings have fallen beyond repair, and it's time that they be removed.
Anyone from the applicant wish to say anything? Have any questions?
I had talked with the attorney earlier this week, and had said unless he had any problems, we talked about these items, unless he had any problems with them and wanted to discuss them over with you, he didn't have to be here, so that he didn't have to travel for this meeting. He thanked me and said no, he didn't have any problems. so.
Anyone on the commission have any more questions or comments? So this will be next month.
Yes, for a vote.
Item number 8, discussion and public hearing on the site plan for La Petite Academy, 11308 Station West Drive, Zone C-2, 0.86 acres to modify building elevations. Carla Knapp, Associate Design Group, Incorporated, applicant.